person who says you have a tax holiday is the person actually benefiting from those mines. And moreover, there is no government, like in our country, the government does not own any of big mines. Yeah? Pionse to alibika kwe, no, but never chief market, not farmer investors. This is not the time we should be going and begging for investors. Yeah? It's a high time we should own our own things and we do accountability very well. Icharo chino, icharo bilibukoku, bile chinja. The likes of Burkina Faso, Botswana, we have seen other countries are likely equatorial have backwards. Instead of independence, celebrating 61 years of independence in Chalo Chai, in terms of economic development, in terms of infrastructure, as we are talking right now. And then there is a Zambian this who behaves like that, an animal celebrating to say, hey, bad until 2090. Where on it? Until 2090.
Wonderful contribution. Wonderful contribution. Well, President, you're welcome. But Tayali, the president of the Economic and Equity Party, the previous speaker is just from talking about how it is unfair for those of I don't want to say you, for those of Zambians who want to support this government come next year because of their economic policies and the other challenges that the Zambian people are facing. And you being the president of the opposition political party, I don't know. You've been posting lately about UPND and you are confident that they are going to win an election. Are you concerned about the suffering of Zambians, or maybe you have other reasons which we don't know?
Thank you very much for adding me. I hope you can hear me clearly. Can you?
Loud and clear.
Okay, very good. So, I like to join such groups so that we engage and exchange ideas and views. And yes. I hope that that respect will be maintained, because most of these groups, when you go there,
I can guarantee
people...
you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So, the previous speaker, I've heard, the previous speaker and the other lady, what they are talking about. First of all, I want to admit that Zambia is facing various challenges. I mean, I personally, as Tayali, I would not say, no, Zambia is okay, no, we are in the Premier League. No, we are not yet there. We are not yet there. However, the question is, how do we get out of the doldrums that we are in? How do we get out of there? To get out of there, it is not something that is, can be done magically. No. You must have deliberate policies. And some of these policies, they take time. You must have projects that are answering to some of the challenges that you are facing. And some of these projects, they take long. Now, UPND, myself, as president of Economic and Equity Party, I'm not UPND, I must emphasize. I am a leader of an opposition political party. However, I am supporting President Hakainde Hichilema that he goes through in 2026. Why am I supporting President Hakainde Hichilema? The number one reason, first of all, most importantly, is that at the moment we don't have somebody that can do better than Hakainde Hichilema. You can look around and you can challenge me on that to say this one has got better ideas, that if he comes in, he's going to do better than Hakainde Hichilema, because you can only get rid of somebody if you have got somebody better. You cannot chase your wife because of one or two issues, and yet, I mean, you can't go mubawa sange ule atawe na lao pafe uyu nomukashwani na la mutamfe just because ule wasanga diali shuwa kuchaya you have a pen at all, you will. byala kucha mu bed but ukwipika tali aishiba ukuwombe ntito tali aishiba so fintu fyala vipa no kuvipa. You see, so that is number one reason we don't have, for me, we don't have a person and a political party that can be able, to do better than President Hakainde Hichilema and UPND. That is number one. Then number two, President Hakainde Hichilema, much as he has got his own weaknesses, he is determined to move Zambia forward. And some of these things, like I earlier said, some of these things that he has started, they will not bear fruits there and then. For example, the debt restructuring that we have been talking about. At the moment, if at all, PF bali winner, if at all Balungunga bali winning, we would have been struggling with that debt. Remember, there were defaults before PF came out of, was removed from power. There were defaults. So we would have been defaulting. And that would have had serious implication on our country. So that debt restructuring, which Hakainde Hichilema entered into, has helped Zambian economy to remain afloat. We are not there, but at least we are able to survive. What are the indicators? Indicators are that civil servants are getting paid, farmers are getting paid. We have CDF going into bank accounts. We can see at least that the government is able to manage its finances. It is because of that debt restructuring. From there, I know some people will talk about load shedding. This load shedding issue is not an issue that can be solved by abracadabra, like I heard one of the presidential candidates, yesterday, we were South Africa, saying, Inenga na some power, immediately load shedding will finish. Remember, we had load shedding even in Muliba PF. However, to sort out this, you need projects that can respond to that. What are those projects? We need to increase on, the power generation in hydro and the solar projects and other things that can give us that energy. So this is not something that will go away. Even if I support you, Tayali na support, getting push load shedding in 2 days. And I know somebody will come and say, no, but they are selling electricity. The issue about selling electricity is politicized because it's not that Zambia is generating electricity and then immediately start export. No, there is an agreement. There is an agreement with different countries. There are times when we have what do you call low demand, okay? Low demand, whilst in other countries, they have high demand. And the production at that point, low demand, but your production is there. A good example that I can give you is that, let's say, Uwushiku, you are generating Amalite 300 megawatts, and that 300 megawatts, but your demand is only 100, you see? So that 200, which is a surplus, you cannot, so that 200, which is a surplus in the night, will be sent to other countries where there is high demand, like South Africa, because South Africa, they have got industries, which work, in the night heavily. So that 200 Ubushiku is sent to South Africa. During the day, we need, let's say, 400. So that all 300 will be used. And 100, that is where you have the load shedding. So it has been politicized, and ZESCO and UPND themselves, they have not been able to explain it properly. But nonetheless, the point I'm trying to make is that load shedding cannot be finished in a spur of a moment.
President, are we going to be fair if we start addressing issue by issue? Maybe you make your submission and we allow also others with different views so that we engage one
absolutely.
another.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I want to end on that one so that others can come in and talk about some of these issues that I've raised.
Okay. Madam Bella, I'm sure you are ready. You would want to come in.
Yeah, I thank you for your submission, Mr. Tayali. I have a question regarding two issues you mentioned. You mentioned the debt restructuring,
Yes.
correct?
Yes,
And you
yes.
mentioned the power issue. I specialize in power, actually, and I'm fully aware of certain power solutions that are available on the international markets that are plug and play. We have the example in Ukraine, who are currently using magnetic energy. We all know there was war, for those who aren't familiar with geopolitics. There was war recently, and obviously their infrastructure was blown. So there are instant solutions, contrary to what you just said. And secondly, regarding debt infrastructure, I'm struggling on one thing. I don't understand how a man in the caliber of Hakainde Hichilema can fly back into the country after using taxpayers' money, talking about restructuring debt and not talking about the money that's been transferred outside the country, not talking about the tax waivers he's given to large international conglomerates and chasing down through ZRA of small, tiny businesses. And unlike former governments, has refused to give tax waivers to the local communities, has completely shunned the small-scale miners, has not done anything regarding the mineral royalties for the Zambians, and last but not least, has even allowed concentrates. I'm sure you're an educated man, Mr. Tayali. You know that rhodium, vanadium, iridium are worth 3 times as much as gold. And we know that there's uranium in concentrates coming from FQM. I think it's a bit of a mockery for you to sit there and say this rhetoric. I submit.
Thank you so much. Vazedman, I know you are also in two minds, considering the fact that the president, Mr. Tayali, spoke about the mines. I don't know, you can make your own submission as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Lusambo. Good evening, panelists. Well, I mean, depending on where you're streaming from. Good evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening, my brother. I can hear you clearly.
I know you know me. I know you know me because we've been on several platforms together. The previous Facebook that I used to follow you. Then this time we go to the Copper Belt. You came to visit. We were in Kitwe. You even have time to visit the ECA more. You remember?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. You talked much on the way you found, I mean, where Kitwe was compared to the time when Edgar Lungu was the president. You talked of the small-scale miners and the like, and I'm sure you talked of the differences that you had observed, and you also took into consideration the complaints that were, I mean, addressed to you by my fellow, contractors and suppliers. Yes, I want to get something from there. Now that aside, you talked of that aside. I only wanted to remind you of the suffering that people are going through. That aside, you talked about the many to say at the moment you are supporting HH because Zambia doesn't have leaders. Mr. Tayali, you've got your own party. You've got your own party that you are the president. I don't want you to tell the people of Zambia and all those listening to us to say, apart from HH, there is no any other leader that can take up that challenge. Even you, You, even you can't even take up that challenge to say you are a president. So that's very wrong. Leaders are there. Let leaders participate freely, and the leaders will emerge from there. Because if there were no leaders apart from HH, how come everyone who is talking is sent to the prisons? Everyone who emerges is sent to the prisons. You are there where you are, Mr. Tayali, because of the factionist that you used to be. You were confrontational and very factual over the way people were living in Zambia or are still living in Zambia. That's the more reason as to why you even fled from your own country, because I know you are very intelligent. So having said that, let me continue. You talked of death restructuring. To be frank with you, Bwana Tayari, death restructuring is a scam. It's a scam. So death restructuring doesn't mean that when you get into that death restructuring, then you are done with your debts. No. Let's go back to what Mwanawasa did. That was excellent. Away from that, mining. I'm in the mining town. Mining is a disaster. It's a mockery actually to the Zambian people. There is no system. There is no pattern. Come back to the mines. People will tell you the challenges that they are going through. They are going to explain to you what is happening on the ground, not the rhetorics that you are hearing, Mr. Tayari. People are suffering because all our mines are not fully functional. These mines that are fully functional, the taxes have been whipped away. Now, where do we get the money to make things easier for the nation if those taxes are not being utilized here in Zambia? You see? And before I lay my case, I'm very much surprised and flabbergasted at the same time. What has HH done to you personally, Mr. Tayari, for you to come and turn 365 degrees, becoming in support of him? What has he done? As for me, I would love to tell you, my brother, to say, speak for the people of Zambia, speak for the people of Zambia, because you've got relatives back here in your country who are suffering, and God has prepared something big to you. Never lose track, my brother. Never lose track. Never lose track. Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you. Mr. Bravo, just a quick one. I'm sure you'd love to say one or two things. Before...
Are you there?
Yes, we are getting you.
So good evening, everyone. Good evening, Sister Bella, Z-Man. I've been offline for some days, yeah. So I was just following what the other people have been contributing. But of course, what President Tayali has been submitting, of which to some extent, to a larger extent, I can disagree with him, but to a certain portion, I can agree with him. Yeah. I'm not someone that can be so naive to say HH hasn't done. Yeah, he has certain things that he has done ABCD, but he has not done according to what the Zambian people expected him. Maybe sometimes passing mark, maybe out of 100%, the passing mark, maybe let's say 40%. So if you get 39% and below, even if you've gotten some works correct, it will be considered as a fail. Okay? So, in as much as he can score in some certain points, but I don't think he has gone beyond 40% of what he expected to do in terms of what he promised. Then, again, to some extent, I understand President Tayali that he's just doing politics. I know deep down his heart, he knows that Hichilema is not relevant. That is just a fact. He knows deep down his heart, because even to himself, there's no life that has improved on a personal level that he can say, my life has improved as a result of the policies, or rather the development that Hichilema has brought to this country. Far from it. Okay? he cannot convince us on that point. And also, he's doing politics for so many reasons. Maybe probably it could be that he's not in good books with the people that he was who were the PF. So where could he be? He can be on the other side. Then it also could be that someone would not be wrong to assume that maybe that he's fighting for his freedom, for his comeback. But of course, we've heard so many times that they say it's not about me coming back. It is about me. It's about his conscience to say, Hakainde Hichilema tell that. But one who wouldn't be so much wrong to assume one of the ingredients for his 360 turnaround, it's because obviously some ingredient of some freedom of it could be there. Okay. Then lastly, as I conclude, so that I also allow others to say something, I would say this, and even as in as much as this, I like President Tayali, and I'm sure if I was just to say a bit, I don't want him. Okay, let me just say so that you can remember. I think I was talking to him about 3 days ago. President Tayali, are you there? Maybe I can just remind you.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I muted his mic because why is I think the bus is passing or something. Okay, let's see.
Just unmute him so that maybe he can have the correct question, so that it doesn't seem like maybe I'm just making propaganda.
You can unmute the mic. Okay, thank you.
No, I can hear you. I'm following. Just that I'm walking to church as I'm talking to you right now. So you are right that there are vehicles which are passing. I'm walking to church. Yeah.
Okay. So President Tayali, this is Bravo. I think I was talking to you the day before yesterday. I'm the one that came to your inbox about the given Katuta issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember?
Yes, I remember.
Yes. So as I conclude, to some large extent, but Tayali sometimes has to come up with politics, not because he knows what he's saying is right, but because my politics, and all of us we can do these things. All of us we can do these things. You can turn around just from now. President Tayali by tomorrow, he might change and also say no. Hakainde Hichilema failed. He was saying this before President Bongo died, but it's not that from before President Bongo died, this is when maybe HH has done some miraculous development that has made him to turn around and say, no, I think let's just continue with this. So it's just politically saying, for me, because Edgar Lungu is not in the picture, the only guy that we can go for is this one. But not necessarily that, Hakainde Hichilema has brought development to this country, which is in itself, President Tayali, where he is, he can feel it, that there's development in Zambia. I on that one, I 100% disagree. But otherwise, Brother Sambo, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yes, I think now, Mr. Dad, you can go on with your contribution. I think we have gotten the reaction from different people.
Yes, and I think I will start with the last contributor. The first thing is that, well, it is true. I am a politician. It is true. I am a politician, and as a politician, I'm okay. I'm sorry. I'm walking, and I'm seeing this guy, like fighting with a lady. It's where I am. It is 05, and I'm walking to church. So anyway, let me respond to say, yes, I'm a politician. And as a politician, of course, sometimes we take positions that are political. And this is just a reality. It's a reality. We have to sometimes, I'm sorry, guys, I have to go and just help this, because you never know what happens. Somebody tomorrow you might just witness. A life might be lost. Sorry, there is a lady that sorry na papa talekeni